Hello and welcome to She Boss Talk. I am Shantae Alrighty, coming back for take two to talk about how to pay yourself PPP. So this is for all of those that are applying for the Paycheck Protection Program, that have already been funded for the Paycheck Protection Program and have questions as to how are you supposed to use your money? How are you supposed to spend your salary that you receive? For all of you all gig workers, self-employed, solopreneurs, especially those that file on a Schedule C form, I continue to get those questions. So I want to make sure that I answer those for you today. I was on earlier, but I decided to do another video to offer some clarifications on some things that I mentioned earlier in the broadcast. So you definitely want to make sure that you tune in so that you get this information. Do subscribe. If you have not subscribed already, thank you out there to all of our supporters. Give this a thumbs up and a like. Show us some love so more people can see this video. And do share this out with any entrepreneur, small business owner you know that has been asking questions regarding the Paycheck Protection Program. We want to make sure that you know how to spend the funds, and also to make sure that you spend them in such a way that you are eligible to receive 100% forgiveness of your Paycheck Protection Program funding. Now, we know that it is a forgivable loan, but you do have to apply for forgiveness and be able to show that you spent the money on eligible expenses. And so that's why we're here. We also want to make sure that you're doing it in such a way that you leave an audit trail in case you're ever questioned or come under investigation or an audit by the SBA or any other government entity. It would be super easy to be able to show them that you correctly spent the money. So you will see on my screen, I'm sharing my screen right now, and this is my bank account. So I want to show you how I set up distributions. Again, this is for your salary replacement. Owner's compensation is another way to say it. Is the payroll that is for the owner of the business. So that is you as the owner of the business. So you can distribute the money to yourself in a number of different ways. There's not just one way that you can do it. Online is the preferable route. You can do it in one lump sum payment. You can do weekly, bi-weekly. You can do a month. What you need to understand is that if you probably heard that when you're spending the Paycheck Protection Program funding, that it needs to be between 8 and 24 weeks that you're spending the funds. For your owner's compensation or that salary replacement, it's not 24 weeks. You actually have up to the 2.5 months. Okay. So some of you all may have heard I said weeks earlier, but it's 2.5 months, because you get 2.5 months of working capital. And for those that are in the restaurant industry, you know you get 3.5 months of working capital. Okay. So, but for your owner's compensation, you must again spend the money within that 2.5 months. Okay. So you see on my screen, this is what I recommend. This is what a lot of my peers have followed. So whether how it's set up is that your funds came through your business bank account. We know that for a lot of people, they didn't have a business account. That it may have gone into your personal account. So I'll address both instances and offer my recommendations on how you can best approach the situation. So you can see on the screen, I have my bank account. If you have a business bank account, you have an area that's called bill pay. So what I did was I set myself up on bill pay. I set myself up as the payee. So my business is paying me, Shantae R. Roddy, the Paycheck Protection Funds as my salary. Okay. And you can see that I set it up. So whether you want to break it up in individual payments, I did that on the first draw because I got funded both first draw and second draw. On the second one, I just decided to do the same thing, but I just set up one recurring payment for 6 to 8 weeks out. I can't remember exactly which one that I did it. And you can see that I categorized it. So it's clear. It's clear, and it's clear from both sides, from my business side, and then when I receive it on the personal account side, what these funds are. Okay, so you can track it. So it tells what the funds are. I have a note or a memo. You should have a memo section, a categorized section that clearly states it's your owner's compensation. What I noted is that not only is it my owner's compensation, I have PPP included. So it says owner's compensation dash PPP. So it says exactly what it is or when it's being distributed, when and into what account. So again, if anyone ever comes asking me, is there, is also going to be reflected on my bank statement. Now let's talk about those that have, now you can do this way. You can also use your accounting system. So I know, I have an accounting system that I use. I could have set it up just that way as well. I know some of you all have personal accounts. You don't have a business account, but you have an accounting system like Quickbooks. You can do the same thing, set it up as a bill pay or designated owner's compensation in your accounting system. Now, those of you that don't have the accounting system, you don't have the bank, you don't have the business account, there's a number of different ways that you can do it. I know I've heard some people saying, well, if it just came to your personal account, that's all that needs to be done, and you can just spend the money there. I don't recommend just leaving it that way. I know some people, if you happen, so a few of you all happen to have been doing it through your checking account, your personal account, or like a Cash App until they stopped allowing it, or they were rejecting it because it was over a certain amount. But take, for instance, if you are using Cash App and your money came through Cash App, that is not a real bank account. That you can't really show just leaving it there that you're spending the PPP money on your salary. That's what you need to be able to show. You will also need to actually save your bank statement as well, especially those of you that, again, only have your personal account, so you can see that the PPP funds came in to the account that you're going to be using. You can also use a spreadsheet to kind of note this, or a Word document, kind of the funds, how much, when it came in, and then how you distributed the money to yourself as your salary or your owner's compensation replacement. But I would recommend also setting up a separate account for your monies to go into, your PPP money to go into. If you didn't do that, or you already have your funds, then you can set up a separate checking account, or you may have a savings account that you can transfer money into. So maybe you don't set up a bill pay, you have the option to transfer monies between different accounts within the same bank or to another bank account. But as long as it's showing that it's going directly to you. Now, once it goes to you, once you have already allocated that money as your salary, it is for you to do with whatever you choose, whatever you would normally use your salary. Like if you're working a 9-to-5, or you're working in your business and you're paying yourself on payroll, or you're taking your owner's draw, whatever that is. So if that means buying groceries to put food on the table for your family, paying bills, or paying your mortgage, then you can do that. The difference is from what some people are doing, right, is just spending all their PPP on personal things and vacations and home repairs. That is not what it's for. You have to actually pay yourself and not save it. You have to pay it, spend it within the covered period. Okay, so you can get forgiveness. It's not something that you just hold on to, and then you just make sure that the money's right. Payroll is 60%, at least 60%. But if you're self-employed, you have no employees, you can actually spend up to 100% of your PPP funds on your salary replacement, or you could just do the 60% and then 40% on other related business operational costs, which I'll do another video on that. So you can choose how you prefer to do it. That is your choice. But the difference is, again, that it's already gone to your personal account. You've already allocated it to your salary. Is now yours to spend how you want, versus just spending the PPP on random things, personal things that is not intended for. So what you need to spend on business, spend it on business. What you're going to spend on your salary, you're going to spend on your salary. So we already know it must be at least 60% during the covered period in order to get 100% forgiveness. So that's what you're trying to achieve when you're paying yourself, to make sure that you qualify for that forgiveness. Again, make sure that you're keeping your bank statement as well. And again, up to 2.5 months. So make sure that before you close out your covered period, or before you request forgiveness, that you have used your PPP funds. You have allocated it at least 60% to your payroll in order to get that 100% forgiveness. So again, we're talking about how to pay yourself your PPP funds. I know a lot of you are out there have already received your Paycheck Protection Program, whether it's first draw or second draw. You had a lot of questions as to what you're supposed to do. I know someone just asked me, can they use owner's draw? That's another term for it, right? That's when you, for instance, your LLC or a sole proprietor, you're not required to pay to be on payroll, meaning you don't have payroll taxes taken out. You can simply set up an owner's draw to withdraw monies for yourself. But again, you make sure that that's properly categorized, that it is your owner's compensation. So I'm just going to look and see if there are any questions here. As always, I will follow up after this broadcast. This is an explainer video just to help out those that needed assistance. I know a lot of people that have adopted what I have shown here on the screen. It makes it super easy for you to do to make sure that you're getting paid out of the Paycheck Protection Funds, and that follow up if and when it happens is clear and easy to be able to provide in case someone ever comes asking. Okay, so I hope this video has been beneficial to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, continue to be the boss with amplified impact. Until later, continue also to stay safe and stay in good health. Have a wonderful day.